Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC and this is Blue Lions TV, and today I'm bringing you guys another Predict That 11 video for our FA Cup game against Norwich tomorrow. But before I get into the video, please, if you haven't pressed the bell notification button, please press that. Only takes a second, and stay tuned to all things Blue Lions TV. This month is going to be hectic, it's going to be crazy. I'm going to be releasing probably 2 more videos later today in regards to Ross Barkley, Andy Carroll and other transfer news you definitely can't afford to miss out on today in particular. Anyway, getting straight into the video, starting with the goalkeeper I see Conte picking for this game, and I see Caballero making a return to the game. Caballero has been decent every time he has played for us. It's nice to have a goalkeeper with very good distribution with his feet as well, and he's a nice facet to have in the squads. Moving on to the right hand side of the back three, and I see Conte using Rudiger in this game. I think Conte will give a rest to Azpilicueta, especially as we're going to need him for the following game against Arsenal right after. And I think with Rudiger, he's been decent this season. He's starting to slowly work on some of his weaknesses in his game, and it's quite unfortunate that we're just stacked in defence, because I think for most other teams he's starting first team for them. Moving on to the middle of the back three, and it looks like Luiz will be making his long-awaited return into the first team. He's been unfortunate with injuries recently, of course sustained by Guerrero and his disgusting tackle against him, and I'm surprised that he really didn't get enough criticism for the tackle. But with Luiz, he is a world-class defender. I think he is still very underrated. I don't get why a lot of people don't really rate him. But a lot of the clubs he's linked with, your Bayern Munich's, your Barcelona's, your Real Madrid's, even Paris Saint-Germain, which I'm going to be touching on in a later Transfer Daily video, are all interested in bringing back his services. And I'm just hoping that Luiz isn't going to leave in the January transfer window, but there's a possibility that he might decide to leave, even though Roman does really love him and he does want Luiz to stay at the club. Moving on to the left hand side of the back three, and I see Conte using Gary Cahill on the team. Now with Gary Cahill, he has been solid. I'm not going to say he's been spectacular. I thought his game against Arsenal was very good, other than that one mistake against Lacazette where he did let him go through on goal, but he has been solid defensively when we have been playing a more counter-attacking style. Still though, in each of the past 3 games he's played, he has let strikers run in from behind. Berahino did that recently for Stoke, and Lacazette did the same thing against Arsenal. Moving on to the wing backs now, starting with the right hand side, and I see Zappacosta returning to the team. Now Conte did sub on Zappacosta for Moses. I felt that Moses was very poor offensively. I think defensively there was nothing wrong, but offensively he provided nothing. Of course, it never really helped that there wasn't any real attacking support on the right hand side to really help him, but normally we know that Moses doesn't ever need support really to get down that side, and it was just a disappointing performance by his standards. So obviously Conte did think, let me bring on Zappacosta to get some drive and really try and get at Niles, but really other than one run that Zappacosta went on that created the second goal for Alonso, he really didn't test Niles as much as he should have. But anyway you guys, just a quick plug-in, I've released a brand new video, player ratings. It's going to become a regular segment. If you haven't watched it, if you're curious about what I'm saying, I suggest right after this video go and watch it. It's going to be under the combined 11 playlist tab section on my channel. Definitely watch it. I think all of you guys are going to really enjoy it and really like it. But anyway, when I made that video I did rewatch the game again, and I noticed that Zappacosta didn't get tight enough maybe to close down crosses, and I think he's been very susceptible to dropping in really deep and not really getting out fast enough and aggressively enough to close down crosses coming in the box. And you know, I just think sometimes if Moses was playing there, would an Arsenal player have all the time and freedom to put a cross in the box like that? I'm still not quite too sure, if I'm being honest, because we weren't seeing that beforehand. We only started seeing the crosses coming in when Moses came off and when Zappacosta came on. Even though he did make that nice attacking contribution for the second goal, you know, his main job is defending as well. We cannot forget that. And I just think that it was just another standard, you know, average, typical Zappacosta performance. A few good things and, you know, mostly bad things. Moving on to the left-hand side, and I see Conte using Kennedy, and I think that this could be Kennedy's final game for Chelsea this season. It looks like he could be going to Newcastle. There are reports of him going to Russia as well for Lokomotiv Moscow. If he goes to Russia, you're never going to see him again. I suggest he doesn't make that move there. But anyway, I see that Conte will give him the last game because, of course, he wants to keep Alonso fresh for the semi-final game following after the Norwich game. And I think that with Kennedy, he's been very, very unfortunate. The kid just hasn't played much over the past few years. We've denied him loan moves. We denied him going to sign for Newcastle for the start of the season because we didn't replace him with anyone. And I don't think it's right morally, if I'm being honest. You know, the guy needs game time to really push on in his career. He's 22 years old and he's played less than 50 games, and nearly 50% of them haven't even been starts. Moving on to the midfield, and I see Danny Drinkwater starting in this game. I think with Drinkwater, he's another guy where his performances have been very good at an individual level. He's gelled right into the team. He fits in perfect tactically. He knows how to pick up great positions to block passing lanes, and he has that tenacity in the tackle as well. And it's no surprise why him and Conte were such a fantastic partnership for when Leicester won the league. And it'll be nice to see him play. He does have expansive passing in his game. It's nice to see that he's slowly having the confidence to play more of these passes, and I think he's a decent signing. Moving on to Drinkwater's partner, and I see Ampadu playing in midfield for this current game. I think with Ampadu, again, is he necessarily the best youth player at Chelsea? No, he isn't. You know, I think Jefferson is a better player. Jay Clark-Salter is also a better player, but they're guys that Conte feels can't really provide that job in midfield where you need to have that, you know, be aggressive in the tackle, press people, close spaces down. I think that with Ampadu, his passing isn't the greatest. He does lose the ball quite a lot when he does play those forward passes, but in Conte's system, he doesn't necessarily care about loss of ball possession. It's all about taking up defensive positions, keeping shape, being tactically astute, and Ampadu does have that, and I really like his confidence, and I really think he's the type of guy that could be a captain. He's a natural leader. Moving on to the front three on the left hand side, we should finally be seeing Charlie Masunda playing. Now, it's been unfortunate again that number one, he doesn't get much game time, and two, he does get those niggling injury problems. And you know what, maybe it's not really a surprise, because if you're not really playing as much football, I guess maybe your muscles do get a bit tight and you're more susceptible to picking up injuries. But when you really look at Charlie Masunda, I mean, he's 21 and he's really starting to fill up more now. He's become much more muscular and looks much more athletic, and he looks like he's ready to be playing in the Premier League just now. But unfortunately, it seems like this could be one of his final appearances so far this season. We know that Ross Barkley will be coming, and it seems like Masunda will be going out on loan again, and it's just typical Chelsea. We just don't like to give young players a chance, and we probably will never ever do that. Moving on to the right hand side, now I see Willian starting in this game, and I think Willian's form's been really good. I'm actually excited to see both Masunda and Willian playing together now, because it looks like Conte does let guys in the front three roam a lot more and swap positions a lot more, and I think that's what helps the team much more. And this is why you're seeing a much better Willian, because I've always felt Willian's much better on the left hand side and playing through the middle, and we're really starting to see what he can really do. And I think that combination with him and Masunda, another guy that can play across the front three, hopefully means that they should be getting more touch to the ball and should be affecting things more in the final thirds. And to end on who I think is going to play up front, I really think that Conte will use Michy Batshuayi. Probably, I'm really not looking forward to seeing that. I really feel that with Michy, he just doesn't complement that front three, and everything becomes static. Why? Because he just doesn't move. He's too stationary, and this is what can affect the guys in the front three as well. And I just think that he doesn't complement the team. And if we do bring in another target man striker, I wouldn't be surprised to see Michy leaving on loan this season, most likely to Monaco. Probably the same thing for Masunda as well, and I think that's the best thing. Now, that's the lineup I see Conte choosing for this game against Norwich. Now, here's the lineup I would use. In goal, I've gone for Caballero, the same as Conte. Now in defence, I've gone for Rudiger on the right hand side, Luiz in the middle, and I've gone for Jay Clark-Salter on the left hand side of the fence. I think that it's best that Cahill does get rested. If Cahill and Aspie can, it makes a lot more sense. They have been playing a lot of games recently. Jay Clark-Salter can play on the left hand side easily. He can pass out, and I think it'll be a great test to see him play against Norwich, especially when he has Luiz beside him and Rudiger as well to help him out. Now in midfield, I have gone for Drinkwater and Ampadu, the same as who I think Conte will most likely pick against Norwich. Now for the wing back positions, I have gone for Zappacosta on the right hand side and Dujon Sterling on the left. I think that if Kennedy is going to be leaving on loan, it makes sense to probably use Dujon Sterling. I think that Conte won't ever play him on the right hand side. I think he'll keep Zappacosta there on the right hand side. So I think if Dujon Sterling was to play any type of minutes, it would have to be, unfortunately, on the left hand sides. And for the front three, I have gone for Masunda on the left hand side, Willian on the right, and Morata up front. A lot of you guys know my thoughts and opinions on Morata. I keep reinforcing and stating that he's a confidence-driven player. He's the only striker we have available this season. There's a lot more bigger games coming this season, of course, the semi-final games against Arsenal, cup competitions, Barcelona, etc, etc. We can't afford to have a Morata that isn't feeling confident, because he's more likely to bottle big opportunities and chances in upcoming games like that. And I really feel that if Morata plays against Norwich City, that could help him slowly regain his confidence, because he should be able to score a goal against championship opposition. And I just think that it makes sense for Conte to use him in this game, and I think he has to start thinking outside the box when it comes to really managing Morata and how to get the best of him. There are some substitutions I'm hoping I see in this game. I'm hoping that Hudson-Odoi will be on the bench and will get some game time in this game. What more does he need to do to get some form of minutes in a first team game? I mean, he won the World Cup with England under-17s. He's been fantastic in the Checkatrade trophy, where he's been the top goal scorer. He's been scoring goal after goal, amazing braces, individual efforts, free kicks, etc, etc. He deserves a chance now. It's not a risk. Anyway, you guys, that's going to bring an end to today's Predict That 11 video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment and subscribe. If you haven't pressed the bell notification button, please press that and stay tuned to all the big breaking news that will be happening in January. And I expect a lot more videos coming out later today, especially in regards to Ross Barkley and another Transfer Daily video. Anyway, you guys, I'm the FC. This is Blue Lines TV, signing out.